my cousin was mentally ill and no one noticed it. This is a video basically on, of course, mental illness. So, yeah. But let's just get right into the video.
Hi guys, I'm Haley, and I'm 13 years old. Since early childhood, we're all aware of what good and evil means, and I want to tell you a story about the darkest evil I have ever faced in my life. It all started after I had undergone heart surgery. I'd been waiting for that surgery since I was born, and it went pretty well, so it was actually a very happy moment for me and a fresh start. I definitely needed a calm space to recover in. So my parents suggested that I spend my summer break at my aunt's farmhouse. Her family lived in a small, quaint town in California. I was really looking forward to that visit, and I received a very warm welcome. My aunt is a nice woman who also has 2 children, Jemmy, who is my age, and little Luke. I thought we were going to have a lot of fun, but I wasn't that lucky. At first, everything was perfect. Everybody was so happy for me and tried to help and encourage me. My uncle was very busy at work, and my aunt spent a lot of time with Luke because he stuttered when he talked, and she had to take him to speech therapy almost every day. So I spent most of my time with Jemmy. My father used to say Jemmy was a golden child, his mother's first helper and his dad's right hand. And he has always been nice to me, too. So he showed me around the town and told me about his school. He was so self-confident and fearless. I admired him. He reminded me of Peter Pan. But then I started noticing some strange things about him. He was so nice at home, but when we were alone, he would complain about how annoying his little brother was and how stupid and useless his parents were all the time. I know all teenagers do that, but one day we were passing by our neighbor's house and their dog started barking at us from behind the fence. The dog was big, so I got a little bit scared, but not Jemmy. He got close to the face, kneeled down, and started barking back at the dog and laughing hysterically. You probably could have taken it as an awkward joke, but
Oh, God.
I saw his face. He was so pleased that it seemed like there was nothing funnier in the world than to tease this dog. On the way back home, he said, "Should we feed some arsenic to that dog tomorrow?" A nervous giggle was the only response I could muster. I was trying to persuade myself that there was nothing to worry about and decided not to bother my aunt with that story. But I couldn't stop thinking about it every day. A few days later, when we were wandering around, Jemmy suddenly said, "Ugh, it's so boring. Do you want to have some real fun?" I was about to say no when he grabbed my hand and dragged me somewhere away from home. We ran for a long time, but then he stopped. I was surprised because we were standing on a small bridge over a highway, and I could only guess what fun we were supposed to have there. Jemmy opened his backpack, and I saw that it was full of rocks, really big ones. And then I saw a van approaching us. He squeezed me and said happily, "Watch now! Everything happens so fast." He threw one of his rocks, and it didn't miss the van. The rock hit the windshield of the car. The driver hit the brakes, and the car stopped. I heard a little baby cry. I was just standing there, frozen, with my mouth wide open, unable to say a word. And Jemmy was laughing his head off. But then he whispered to me, "Run!" I had no idea what I was doing. I was running, and I felt tears flowing down my face. Why didn't I do anything? It was like a horrible hypnosis. When we finally stopped, Jemmy asked me triumphantly, "How did you like the show?" The show? There were children in that car, and they were probably hurt and scared, and he was calling it a show. I told him he had gone absolutely crazy. I also said he had to tell his parents about what he had done, or otherwise I would do it. But he remained calm, smiled evilly, and coldly replied, "I didn't do it alone. You did it with me and didn't even try to stop me. Your mom and dad would love to hear that story." I was just stunned. From that moment, I had no doubt there was something completely wrong with Jemmy, and I had to do something. I couldn't find the courage to speak to my aunt. Even if I did, she would never believe me because Jemmy turned out to be a perfect actor. He'd been playing the role of good son for years. So I started my own investigation. I had to find some proof of his deeds and expose him. But he was extremely careful. I followed my cousin's every step and noticed that he was spending 2 to 3 hours typing something on his laptop every night. I had to know what was on that laptop. It was my only chance, but I would never be able to do it without a password. I thought it all over. One of Jemmy's only normal interests was to make things with matches. He was very proud of them, and one of his masterpieces was a part of the living room decor. One evening, I waited till he started his daily typing, snuck into the living room, and smashed his project on the floor. Then I ducked out. It made so much noise that everybody woke up and went downstairs to see what had happened. Little Luke started crying. "Jemmy, your ship." I was hiding behind the door and saw Jemmy run out of his room and run downstairs. I didn't have much time. A few seconds later, I was looking at his laptop screen. He was writing a story on his secret blog about the rock that he threw over the bridge. And it turned out that this was not the worst thing he had done. The blog was full of similar incidents, and also there were videos. When I pressed play, I saw little Luke on the screen. He was sitting in front of the computer, terrified. Jemmy made Luke watch scary movies and look at horrible pictures, and I could hear his laugh off camera every time Luke started crying. I was so shocked, but I couldn't stop watching. No wonder poor Luke had such a bad stutter. Poor baby was so scared of his brother, he hadn't even told his mom. I didn't even hear that Jemmy had returned to his room. Lucky for me, my aunt and uncle came with him, so you can imagine their faces when they saw what I saw on Jemmy's computer. Well, it was a victory. On one hand, little Luke didn't have to suffer anymore, and the truth was revealed. But it broke my aunt's heart. She never stopped crying. Of course, nobody would put Jemmy into prison for the accident on the road because he was underage, and luckily, nobody was badly hurt that day. But my uncle had to pay damages to that family. I left California with a heavy heart, and I still can't believe that this happened to my family. Have your friends or relatives ever done any...
Alright guys, well as you can tell, that is sort of what like mental illness is like. So if you find anything like that, just go straight to an adult or someone you can trust and tell them immediately. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the like button and subscribe. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.